All right, so we're back at the Veterans Ranch here in Prosser, and this particular project is going to show a perfect application for the right door, the right track configuration for the space. So starting with the door, we've got the Clopay 904U with the insulated tempered glass. We know in a commercial application we would want the tempering glass so that we're giving extra safety to the people that are around the door. If this piece of glass was to become broken for whatever reason, most likely something hitting the glass, it won't break and have big cutting shards. They'll have tiny little pebbles of glass, won't create a major injury to a person. The other thing is obviously it's got insulation in the glass for thermal qualities, and being a Clopay 904U, we also have the insulated frame and rail. So we're getting the best thermal quality that you can for a glass garage door. The other thing is the owner really wanted to highlight all the view to the west here, and to allow all that light to come in through a glass door, we're utilizing all those characteristics and bringing in the outside while being inside. That's the benefit of the glass door. The other thing that's really cool here, I'll just use my tape measure, is up above me here we've utilized high lift track. So normally a track set would just come to a standard lift. It would go above the door, and then the horizontal track would come back in this area right here above my tape measure. Problem with that is when you have a taller ceiling, you're not utilizing all that space. If you've got a car lift, or you have forklifts, or in this case here you have a big room that's an event space, you want your tracks as high as possible, and that's where high lift comes in. Now this even goes a little bit better, that we not only used high lift track, we also used fall to roof pitch. So you can see that this horizontal track here is not level to the ground. It's actually tapering up at the same degree that the ceiling is. And just to look at this, this looks like this is 212 fall to roof pitch. So we really have this door utilizing all of its vertical space in the room, and that's a really great feature. The other really great feature of this door is we're utilizing the side mount operator. I believe that's the LiftMaster 98032, one of their recently upgraded operators. And that is a wall mount or jack shaft, meaning it is operating the door by turning the spring shaft as opposed to the conventional motors that everybody's seen as a trolley. Trolley would be usually in the center of the door and above the door, connect to the door with a trolley arm, and then pull itself back with the rail and a motor head back here. That doesn't work with a high lift door. You need to utilize a jack shaft or wall mount. The other thing is also with that trolley operator, you'd have a door opener head and rail sitting down underneath the ceiling when you want all that space open. That's where the wall mount or jack shaft comes in. The other cool thing about this particular wall mount is it has an integral lock, and I'll utilize the push button over here to control the door. You'll hear it unlock automatically, and then we're going to close the door and you'll hear it automatically lock behind. So we'll open it now. And I'm going to stop the door right there, and now I'm going to close it, and you'll see it automatically lock behind it. It's a great feature. Now that is a manual lock. In the event that there was a power outage, you would simply pull the lock back, you'd pull the cord down, put the door into manual mode, and then you would just lift up. Now right now it's in manual mode. You would bring it back down to the appropriate location, disengage or re-engage the motor. The lock should automatically re-sync. So just close the door now, and the lock should re-engage. There you go. So that feature is standard on most of the residential LiftMaster wall-mounted operators, but it is effectively creating that lock to your door when it's in the down position. Very cool feature. Another safety feature on really any door is a photo eye, and a photo eye is a non-contacting safety device. The photo eye is going to protect the door when it's in the closing motion. So when the door is going up, I can pass through the photo eye and it's not doing anything. The photo eye is sending an invisible beam from one to the other, and in that beam gets broke, meaning something is in the way of the photo eye passing back and forth, the door will not close. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate the door coming down normally, and then I'm going to walk in front of it and you'll see the door stop and then most likely reverse back to the open position. Now, in some cases, you may think you have a photo eye problem, but to find out if you have a photo eye problem, you can bypass the eye. So I'm going to use this water as an object in the way of the door. Now, I wouldn't recommend that somebody at their house try this, for trained professionals only, of course. But in theory, what should happen right now is if I hit the close button, because something is in the way of that eye, the motor shall not close. So you saw that it tried to come down, it stopped, it went back up, it's flashing a light, telling us that there's something in the way. Now, one way, if you're confident that you don't have a door mechanical problem with the springs or the cable, everything looks like it's intact and your door is in the open position, but you can't get it to come down, you could go over to the wall button and push and hold. Now, it's typically pushing and holding for about 8 to 10 seconds, and what you're doing when you're doing that is you're overriding the safety device and you are now accountable. It won't work from a transmitter. It has to be a wall-mounted push button. So in this case here, I'm going to push and hold. This one did not have a delay, but it in fact is coming down. Now I have an obstacle in the way, so I don't want to run it all the way down, but I'm overriding that photo eye. So this case here, I'm going to clear the obstruction. The obstruction doesn't have to be a case of water. It could be a garbage can. It could be dust. It could be debris. You may have your photo eye that was just knocked out of alignment. These have to be lined up. So just visually make sure that they look lined up, that there's no dirt in the lens and you don't have anything in the way. As I'm looking at these photo eyes right here, they look great. So I'm going to now go to close. Door comes down on its own. And then you have the automatic lock.